Joining us now is Ashok Kumar, the senior technology analyst at the Maxim Group. He currently has a buy rating on shares of Dell. Ashok, how do you think this Dell focusing on more lucrative customers in the midst of the Thai floods and PC sales slowing down, how are you seeing that reflected in the numbers today?
Emily, as Cory pointed out very succinctly, the company is undergoing a key transformation. Last year in calendar 11, they pruned about $3 billion, from the more commoditized consumer enterprise business, focusing on the more higher value add, servers, storage, networking, and services. So I think going forward, they're setting the baseline for more sustained, top line profitable growth. We think they can return to, 4 to 5% top line growth, about 10% earnings growth over the calendar 13 timeframe.
Cory, what about tablets? You don't hear much about Dell and tablets. Has Dell given up there? Are they completely out of the game?
Is their laptop business, so it doesn't really give you an eye into what they're doing from the mobile standpoint. But they're doing so much in storage and so much in the back-end sort of server business. So their support of what is the cloud and what's required to run tablets is actually really big, and that business did very well in the quarter, including some of the recent acquisitions that they've seen, seeing well over double-digit gains year over year.
Ashok, we know that Dell is starting to focus more on software to sort of diversify away from PC sales. How long do you think it will be before we start seeing that contribute substantially to the bottom line?
I think it'll be part of the overall solutions strategy, Emily. So I think, going back to, again, to the higher end of the IT stack, positioning themselves as a one-stop shop, and I think they recently added some senior personnel on the software side. I think that all of that is a part of the remake of the company's core business. And as Cory also pointed out earlier, if you look at the notebook business, the Ultrabook product line could also help resuscitate sales in the notebook division. And some of the newer products that are yet to be released have been very well received by the street.
Now, we talk about this a lot, whether companies can sort of reinvent themselves as technology changes so quickly. Cory, do you think it's in Dell's DNA to be able to reinvent itself along the lines of the same way IBM was able to do? Can Dell do that?
Well, it's already happening. Look, the business has changed dramatically. The acquisition of Pro Systems dramatically changed their business. If you look at the year-over-year changes, I don't know if we have got a graphic on that, but their year-over-year sales growth was only 1%. But their year-over-year earnings per share growth was 33%. So they've really changed the very makeup of their business, that they can survive a year when revenue growth is anemic and make profit growth a lot bigger. So, if you stand back and look at what this company was a year ago compared to what it is today, it's a much more profitable, stronger company. Also, by the way, buying back a lot of shares and throwing off a lot of free cash flow.
Taking a look at the broader PC market, Ashok, as economic recovery happens around the world, do you see the PC market recovering, or do you think that the PC market has been fundamentally changed because of tablets and mobile phones and people doing more on mobile devices?
Yeah, I think as Cory pointed out, I think most of the action is going to take place on the back end, the server side of the market. The PC market, we do not see it growing much faster than low single-digit growth, from a base of 300 million. It's primarily a replacement market with some spurts of growth within the tablet or the Ultrabook segment. But primarily the growth is going to be on the infrastructure side of the market, and that's where Dell is positioned to monetize the opportunity.
Cory, HP reports tomorrow. HP has, of course, been going through a transition of its own. Just months ago, it was considering spinning off its PC business altogether. How is what we're seeing from Dell today potentially foreshadowing what we might see from HP tomorrow?
I thought very intriguing within the results from Dell was the fact that the U.S. business was actually down year over year by 6%, whereas the European business, which you might have expected to be down, was actually up. So I think it shows what a tough competitive environment this is right now, why HP needs to remake itself so urgently, and they're in the process of doing a lot of that. It'll be interesting to listen to a lot about cost cutting and a lot about to really see what changes Meg Whitman has made there already and what direction they're going, because it's definitely going to be a tough market. market. Importantly, the printer business for HP might be as challenged as the worst part of the Dell business was. That's where the bulk of HP's business has been and profits have been for a long time. So it's going to be pretty challenging for them, I would imagine, with the results to be announced tomorrow.
We will, of course, be all over HP earnings tomorrow. Our own Cory Johnson and Ashok Kumar of the Maxim Group, thanks so much.